transparency and openness in government. You know, there's a lot of people that say that they are very transparent, that they are just the most open public policy wonks you will ever find. Just ask them, and they'll tell you. But it's more about actions than words.
Yeah.
Now, when you talk about transparency and openness in government, there's actually three aspects of it, and I encourage each and every one of you to apply this standard to any politician out there, including myself. Is that, first of all, when you're looking for information, is that information available to citizens? Is it around? Is it available? Can you find it? Where is it? But then after that, once it's been found, is it accessible? Can you get to that information? Or is it very difficult to find it? And then once you've found that information, is it understandable? Or is it full of a lot of gobbledygook where you can't figure out what the heck that budget says? Or what that resolution means? Or what that legislation says? It has to be understandable so that we can all understand it and it's not double talk. Now that's where bringing people into creating public policy comes into place. Is that it's very difficult for citizens to be policymakers in partnership with their elected officials if they don't know where the information is, if they can't get to it, and they can't understand it. And that's part of the way that the 99% is kept in the dark, is by not letting them have the information and not having it so that they can get to it and so that it's understandable. Because once we know what the information really is and what it really says, then we will be powerful indeed. And that we all have to come together and demand that we know what our information is. That's what we need. Now, getting to this issue, though, of who does create the public policy in our country, well, I think that that's part of the reason why so many of you are here is because, well, gee whiz, comes to find out that there's organizations such as ALEC that is writing legislation for legislators and saying, well, this is the public policy that we would like. Well, what about, the Heritage Foundation that stole single-payer health care from us?
Woo!
Okay, come to find out, the Health Care Reform Act was written by the Heritage Foundation. Are any of you happy about that?
No!
I'm not either, because quite frankly, every citizen I talk to, if I tell them that the model for health care that I support is one that has only 3% administrative costs, that the patient and the doctor make their decisions about the health care for that patient, that the individual gets to select their own doctor, and that we keep health care costs down, and I tell them the model I want, those citizens always say that's the model they want. They want single-payer health care. Yes. And they don't want the Heritage Foundation plan. Because who does that plan support?
1%.
The 1% of the corporations. Absolutely, and yet it passed. So that's why I want to go to Congress. Because I'm going to be a vocal advocate for citizens like you, like me, because that's what I'm here for. I don't have a vested interest. I don't have anybody from ALEC supporting me.
Woo!
Yeah. And the other thing that I will do when I go to Congress, besides fighting for the citizens and for single-payer health care, is that I believe we need to have reforms to our Freedom of Information Act so that it applies at a greater depth to members of Congress, so that citizens like you and activist groups can have access to the emails, the Twitters, the whatever it is, of people communicating and corporations communicating with our members of Congress.
Yeah.
Because once once you know who's talking to who, and you can connect those dots, then you too are in the inside track. So I will help you get in the inside track in Washington, D.C., and that's what I'm here for. Diana Logry, U.S. Congress, peace, justice, and jobs.
Woo!